winning the tag belts.
Yeah, and there's actually a great Cornette story with that also. So first of all, we weren't even supposed to be in that match. That was when Owen gave Stone Cold a pile driver and broke Steve's neck. Steve and Dude Love were tag champs. So they put us in their spot. And we found this out, I don't know, 3 or 4 days before the pay-per-view that, hey, you're going to take their spot. So we were like, this is awesome. Like, to us, we're in another pay-per-view. It's another payout. Like, this is great. We don't care if we win or lose. It's a payoff. We're in another pay-per-view. So we went to the store and bought wedding gowns and dyed them black. And we said, these are our outfits. Because each time, especially on a pay-per-view, we wanted to do something bigger and bigger. So anyway, we get to the building. It's in Louisville, Kentucky. Cornette calls us and he goes, hey, he goes, Boys Square, I got to talk to you. We're like, okay. So he takes us down the steps into the parking garage. The parking garage was underneath the arena, like all the way to the back corner. And we were like, Jimmy, what are we doing? Like,
was it a mob hit? Like,
right? Did I owe you trans or something? Like, what the hell's going on? So he goes, I wanted to bring you guys down here because I need to tell you something. And we're like, okay. He goes, you're winning the belts tonight. And Glenn and I went, cool. He kind of just stood there like this. And he goes, I brought you down here so you can jump up and down and scream and yell like little kids because I know how you are and I know what's going on inside right now. So all three of us were jumping around and hugging and screaming and yelling. And then we go back upstairs and then the rest of the day, I mean, he told us this at, I don't know, noon. So the rest of the day, I was just like a little kid, like, this is unbelievable. And then we get up there and we're sitting in with the agents. And so it's LOD, it's the Godwins, it's Owen and Davey Boy and us. And we're sitting there and I think it was Jack Lanza. And Jack's going over the match with us. And he's like, all right, so here's what's going to happen. They're going to roll out. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. He goes, and then it's going to end up being, we want you guys to go for the stage dive on Owen. He's going to do the backdrop. Davey Boy will nut Glenn, blah, 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 go through the whole thing. He goes, Stone Cold's going to come down. You're going to kick him off. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Headbangers, you guys are new tag champs. And I'm literally, as he's saying all this, I'm like just sitting like this because all I want to do is smile. So we get done. We're like, everyone got this? And we're like, yeah, sure. Yep. Great. Got it. No problem at all. And Owen turns around and he looks at us. He goes, boys, you can smile. Congratulations. So we were like, yay. So right there in the locker room. And then we instantly got close with Henry and Phineas with the Godwin. So it was like, we were all hugging it out in the locker room, like right there, which was awesome.
Any good Owen or Davey Boy stories?
So part of Owen saying, yes, go ahead and cheer came from when we were, trans was covered in our package we had. So Owen one night came up to us and he says, hey, he goes, Davey Boy left. I don't have a ride to the town. Can you guys give me a ride? Yeah, of course. We get there and we get to the town and we're like, where's your hotel? And he goes, well, I don't have a hotel either. He goes, can I just crash on your floor? And we're like, well, you're Owen Hart. You're not going to sleep on the floor. Like, we'll sleep on the floor before you sleep on the floor. So Owen crashes in the room. I curled up in the chair. Glenn and Owen had the beds. I curled up in the chair. Like, Owen Hart's not sleeping on the floor in a chair. He has the bed. So the next morning we get up. This is when Owen and Davey were tag champs. And then Owen was also, I think, the European champion. So he gets up in the morning, he goes in the shower, but before he goes in the shower, he's taking all his stuff out. He lays the belts out perfectly on the nightstand right by the TV. The tag belt's there, the other belt's there. He gets up, he goes in the shower. As soon as he's in the shower, we hear the water running. We hear, I run over and Glenn and I are like looking at the belts. So I'm like, I'm doing it. I picked the belt up and we're like jumping up and down on the bed like this. So the shower turns off. We run over, we put the belt and we're both sitting like this. Owen comes out. He's got the towel around his waist. He walks around. He's picking up his stuff. He stops. He looks down. He goes, you touched my belt, didn't you? We're like, yeah. He goes, I figured you would. He goes, that's why I laid him out. So that's why when he found out we were winning, he turned around. He was like, you guys, it's okay. You guys can be happy. You can jump up and down and cheer. So they all knew we were just two kids and especially for, I mean, Glenn didn't really watch it growing up. I watched it. So for that, and there was actually one time when we were doing jobs, it was me and this other kid. We did a match against the Quebecers, and they were tag champs. And I'll never forget it. I got to find the match of it. But at the end of the match, or at the beginning of the match, Jacques and Pierre had us drop kick them out. They dropped the belts. So we picked up the belts in the ring as
I remember this,
extras,
guys. I think I
going
might
like
have been there for that. Yeah.
doing that. And then at the end of the match, we were laying there, and they hit us both with the finish, and they're laying there, and they pick us up, and they put the belts around our waist. And I'll never forget it. I see myself on TV. I'm like I'm selling, but I got a belt around my waist. So I had a big smile on my face.
I remember that.
Yeah. So to me, it was like, and that's actually the belt right there.
That's the real belt that you held.
That's not a replica. That's my belt.
Oh, nice.
ProWrestlingTees.com. You can get your I Heart Beaver shirt. You can get your Headbanger shirt. You get your Mosh shirt. Yeah, that's it. Just go buy a t-shirt or something.